Nassau County Board of County Commissioners meeting. I'm going to call this meeting to order on March 20th, 2024 at 9 a.m. Please rise for the invocation and the pledge. And where did I put it? There we go. Heavenly Father, we invite you to preside over this meeting and help us to actively listen as we share our points of view. Help us to work as a unified team in combining ideas for better outcomes in our efforts. May we have a spirit of camaraderie as we tackle a shared mission of developing meaningful solutions within our community. As always, we pray that you protect all our citizens in Nassau County, and especially our military and first responder personnel. In your name we humbly pray. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me in the pledge of allegiance to the flag of our country.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Commissioner McCullough.
Here.
Commissioner Gray.
Here.
Commissioner Farmer.
Here.
Commissioner Huffman.
Here.
Chair Martin.
Here. Public comment for non-agenda items. Comments can only be for items under the authority of the Board of County Commissioners. Time limit is 3 minutes. I don't have any public comment cards, so I'm going to assume that there is none. Public comment for agenda items. Except for quasi-judicial items, any member of the public can address any item on the agenda now or wait until the matter is addressed. Time limit, again, is 3 minutes. Again, I didn't get any comment cards for agenda items, so I will assume there are none. Expansion items or deletions to the agenda. County Manager.
I have no expansion items, but under my business later in the meeting, I have asked Gil Langley to come and present to you updates on our efforts related to tourist development's tax business.
Okay. Okay, resolutions and proclamations. Tab A, approve a proclamation of the Board of County Commissioners of Nassau County, Florida, proclaiming March 2024 as National Athletic Trainer Month. I'll entertain a motion for tab A.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Gray, second by Commissioner Huffman. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Do we have anyone here representing this group?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Would you please come up to the podium, and Commissioner McCullough is going to present the proclamation.
This was an honor and a privilege because working firsthand with these lovely ladies and everyone on the UF team every day is just a testament to how amazing UF is working in our county with our student athletes. And so we are so grateful for your services. This is a proclamation of the Board of County Commissioners of Nassau County, Florida, proclaiming March 2024 as National Athletic Training Month. Whereas the Athletic Trainers Association of Florida was founded in 1983 as an organization committed to the education of its members and the enhancement of the professional of athletic training with better health care for the population it serves. And whereas athletic trainers from professional, collegiate, and high school teams, industries, physician offices, rehabilitation clinics, and every branch of the United States military work together to promote and practice the profession of athletic training within Nassau County in the state of Florida. And whereas athletic trainers have a long history of providing quality health care for athletes and persons engaged in regular physical activity. And whereas athletic trainers are highly skilled healthcare professionals who specialize in immediate, acute, and emergency care, examination, assessment, and diagnosis, injury prevention, risk management, therapeutic intervention, and the rehabilitation of injuries and illness. And whereas the National Athletic Trainers Association represents and supports more than 45,000 members of the athletic training profession, including more than 3,000 athletic trainers in the state of Florida. And whereas leading organizations concerned with athletic training and healthcare have united in a common commitment to raise public awareness of the importance of the profession of the athletic training and the role of athletic trainers in the provision of quality healthcare services, and to make sure that their community's needs are being met. And whereas it is the desire of the Athletic Trainers Association of Florida to promote improved health care for athletes and all of those who are engaged in physical activity. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the Board of County Commissioners of Nassau County, Florida, on this 20th day of March 2024, hereby proclaim March 2024 as National Athletic Training Month. And we encourage all of the residents in Nassau County to recognize athletic trainers for their honorable work in keeping our community healthy. And this is signed by our chairman, Mr. John Martin, approved by our county attorney, Ms. Denise May, and certified by Mr. John Crawford, our clerk of court. So ladies, I appreciate you so much. Would you like to speak for a minute?
Yeah.
That
Would
would
you
be-
like to say something?
Okay, yes, sir. Look.
Just,
I just stand off to the side.
okay, all right. Just briefly, thank you, Commissioner Martin and all the commissioners here today. I just want to thank you and thank the school board for just recently approving an expansion of our program. We started out with a couple of people that were really interested. One of them is Mr. Wiley, Steve Wiley, our VP of Business Development, and Dr. Coleman really saw the need to have trainers in the schools and in the high schools specifically, and really on the football field. And that's what started it a couple of years ago, and now it's really developed into a full-time program. We are now having these trainers in the schools full-time throughout the year. And that is such a commitment from the school board to do that, and we thank you for that. I was out on a football field the first time with the trainers. I didn't really know what these guys did, and I was amazed. And it's the first thing the kids yell for when somebody gets hurt on the field is trainer. And so they're the ones that really assess that kid right away to determine, how difficult or how bad the injury was. A lot of it is pulled muscles, some of it not. So thank you very much for your support here, and thank you very much for the trainers and the proclamation. I can't imagine them doing a better job. We've got a great team. Two of them aren't here today. This is Bridget Cool and Alexis Barber. But Tony is on a baseball team game down in Daytona. And we have a new trainer starting on the 1st. That's going to be in front of the Beach High School.
Great, thank you.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
You're not going to hurt our feelings if you decide to leave. Okay, tab B, approve a proclamation of the Board of County Commissioners of Nassau County, Florida, proclaiming the week of March 18th through March 22nd, 2024 as Florida Government Finance Professionals Week. Entertain a motion on tab B.
So moved. Second.
Motion to approve, Commissioner Putman, second by Commissioner Gray. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. And we've got quite a few people here with the clerk's office, so please join me at the podium. Or near the podium. You're the man today. A proclamation of the Board of County Commissioners of Nassau County, Florida, proclaiming the week of March 18th through March 22nd, 2024 as Florida Government Finance Professionals Week. Whereas the Florida Government Finance Officers Association is a professional association founded in 1937 and serves more than 3,300 professionals from state, county, and city governments, school districts, colleges and universities, special districts, and private firms. And whereas the FGFOA is dedicated to being your professional resource by providing opportunities through education, networking, leadership, and information. And whereas This Government Finance Professionals Week, sponsored by the FGFOA and all of its member governmental organizations, is a week-long series of activities aimed at recognizing government finance professionals and the vital services that they provide to our state and community. And whereas the county's finance professionals serving in the Office of Management and Budget and the Clerk of Courts Finance Division work hard every day to ensure that financial policies are being followed and that the processes we have in place are sufficient. And whereas during this week, government finance professionals throughout the state of Florida will be acknowledged for their hard work, dedication, and leadership. Now, therefore, be it resolved this 20th day of March, 2024, by the Board of County Commissioners of Nassau County, Florida, that the board commends their finance professionals for their hard work and dedication, and the board proclaims the week of March 18th through March 22nd, 2024, as Florida Government Finance Professionals Week. And it's signed by myself as chairman of the Board of County Commissioners, our county attorney, Denise May, and our clerk of court, John Crawford, who couldn't be here because he's attending a conference elsewhere in the state. So Mr. Chris LaCombra is going to accept this on his behalf.
Thank you, sir.
So I want to thank the board for recognizing us. It's very appreciated. I do have a fantastic staff behind me. They perform, the grants, budget, billing functions. And what we do culminates really in the end is the budget book, And we're looking to get our second award from FGFOA. And I would say, though, the men behind the curtain is Taco, Robert, and Marshall. They're a big reason why we've gotten the award. And then also what I'd like to say, too, is that the constitutional officers, we work very closely with their professionals. The sheriff's office, Alan, and of course, Rob in the clerk's office and his staff. And I was talking to Commissioner Gray yesterday. There's sort of a synergy between us because we've been working 20, 25 years together. We've known each other that long. So there's just a great benefit to the county.
Thank you. Yeah, and before we do the photo op, I just want to say, I think that all of the finance professionals throughout all the organizations here in Nassau County, county, clerk, sheriff, whomever, they're all working together as a team. We're all pulling in the same direction. And, quite a few years ago, or not too many years ago, you couldn't say that with confidence. And I'm happy to be able to say that we're all working together.
I'm not sure.
See, they're not worried about hurting our feelings.
Got work to do.
I know, they got work to do. All right, tab C, approve a proclamation of the Board of County Commissioners of Nassau County, Florida, recognizing Claire Shepard on her retirement from Nassau County after 25 years of service. Entertain a motion?
So moved?
Motion by Commissioner Hupman.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Farmer. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And would Ms. Shepard and her folks please meet me at the podium? You can bring your contingent up here if you'd like. You don't want to do that, do you? We had a hard enough time getting you here, didn't we?
She doesn't like me.
She doesn't like
No.
Okay. You got to come up here. Okay. Relax. proclamation of the Board of County Commissioners of Nassau County, Florida, honoring Claire Shepard on her retirement after 25 years of service. Whereas Claire Shepard began her employment with Nassau County on March 1st, 1999, as an accounts payable clerk for the Clerk of Courts. And whereas Claire Shepard transferred to the Board of County Commissioners and worked in animal control as an Office Specialist 3 starting on February 2nd, 2006. And whereas Claire Shepard transferred to the library and was promoted to Administrative Assistant 1 on October 9th, 2006, was reclassified to Administrative Assistant 2 on September 1, 2016, and was reclassified to Administrative Coordinator on July 6, 2020. And whereas Claire Shepard played an integral role in providing administrative support to help the library fulfill its mission by acting as a liaison for library staff and other county departments, providing timely and important information. And whereas Claire Shepard performed many tasks, including, but not limited to, maintaining financial records, overseeing and processing all in-person and electronic payments by library patrons, preparing and auditing the budget, coordinating year-end closing procedures, processing reimbursements, providing advanced level administrative support, maintaining personnel records, and acting as records manager. And you're going to miss it, right, in retirement? And whereas Claire Shepard has served as an excellent resource to residents, library staff, and all county departments. And whereas Claire Shepard has provided exemplary service to the citizens of Nassau County as well as to her coworkers by performing her duties in a conscientious and responsible manner while being a shining example to others to emulate. And whereas Claire Shepard announced her retirement effective April 1st, 2024, and whereas Claire Shepard will be greatly missed by everyone who had the pleasure to work with her as well as the citizens of Nassau County. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed this 20th day of March 2024 by the Board of County Commissioners of Nassau County, Florida, that the board publicly commends Claire Shepard for her outstanding service and dedication to Nassau County. The board, on behalf of all citizens in Nassau County, extends their sincere appreciation to Claire Shepard for all she has done to make this a great county. The board hereby expresses best wishes to Claire Shepard for continued health and happiness in the years to come. And is signed by me as Chairman of the Board of County Commissioners, our County Attorney Denise May, and our Clerk of Court John Crawford. Congratulations. Yeah. 25 years is a long time. You had quite a few different jobs there that you excelled at. So I know you don't want me to put you on the spot to speak, so I'm going to respect those wishes. And Library Director Julie Canavino, who's going to, I butchered your name, didn't I?
No, that's
Canavino. was going
You gotta
to-
get
yeah,
the
there you go.
Canavino, you gotta get that in there. So I had looked up at Indeed, and I was looking at some of the top traits that they listed for employees when you're looking to hire them into your organization. And they came up with words like autonomous, collaborative, committed, communicative, creative, detail-oriented, hardworking, honest, humble, a leader, organized, proactive, and reliable. These traits are all encapsulated in Claire Shepard. You never hear the words, "That's not my job," come out of Claire's mouth. She has such a passion for her job and for the county. She has stayed late to help patrons, and she works extra hours whenever it's needed. In short, Claire has made the library a better place, and she's made it a joy for me and the rest of our library employees to come to work. She will be greatly missed, and we are so happy about her upcoming adventures.
I forgot about I'm so sorry. They showed this to me earlier. I'm like, Nassau County is up their game as far as when people retire. We don't just give you a piece of paper and maybe you have a frame for it. So this is presented to Claire Shepard in appreciation for your 25 years of outstanding service and dedication to the citizens of Nassau County, February 2nd, 2006 to April 5th, 2024, Board of County Commissioners, Nassau County, Florida. Don't go away, Julie. Congratulations. Enjoy your time. Okay, that'll move us into presentations. Time limit is 15 minutes. Tab D, recognize county employees for years of service. County manager.
So while Ms. Claire's making her way out the door, I'll just say that I've had the privilege of knowing Ms. Claire and her family for the better part of my life, and she's always been a great ambassador of the county, and she will certainly be missed. Now, the two folks that are going to stick with us for a minute longer, can I get Ms. Julie and David to come on up, please? So today we have two recognitions, and both of these individuals, you all know them, you know their faces, you see them around. They're copied on emails, they help you with citizens. I could really talk about each one of them, but you know full well what they do. First, we have Ms. Julie Elliott, 20 years service with Nassau County. I mean, quite frankly, you know, there's nothing she can't do. And David Hearn, who's now your Assistant Public Works Director, you know, again, it's the same thing. The two of them are spectacular. Their skill sets to put together, I started thinking about it, you could really start your own firm with the two of them between the trade skills that they have, their management skills. And so we're very fortunate to have both of them here. Doug's going to come and say a few words, but in all sincerity, on behalf of the citizens, the board, and then administration, I can't thank Julie and David enough just for their effort, their professionalism, and helping us get the next cohort of talented skills folks ready to work in this environment.
Morning. I can't say enough about David and Julie, that they're the reason Nassau County is where Nassau County is right now. David's been here 25 years, Julie's been here 20 years. I don't have a trophy, which is that paper for you guys today. So you have a couple more years to go before you can retire anyways. David started in '99 with the road department, and then he was one of the first apprentices to go through the operator training school at that point. So that was a big milestone for the county at that time. And then David went over to the engineering department where he was a inspector for a couple of years until 2011. Then he came back to the road department because that's where he always wanted to be. And that's where he stepped up to be the assistant road director at that time. And he was actually in that seat for probably about 12, 13 years. And then with the revamping of the public works, we saw the need for a deputy public works director, and David was a perfect fit for it. So now David's over in the public works side, so he gets to assist in managing all of the departments under public works, and we couldn't have a better leader in that capacity. And all David's years and experiences have come to fruition to see that the county is always going to be in good hands. So, and Julie, she started in 2004. She started off as a custodian. And in 2004, she went to grounds maintenance. In 2004, she went back over to the facilities maintenance side, where she went through the apprenticeship program for the carpentry skills. And Julie honed her skills for 4 years. She's been in charge of a lot of these additions, a lot of these changes in the offices, and just making sure that the county is going to run the way that it needs to run. In 2023, she stepped up to be the foreman. So, and from that point on, it's just today's history, and we can't ask for a better team between David and Julie. So I thank them for their time. Okay. Jeff, too shy.
Make it short, I do appreciate all of your support, the board, county manager's office, and just thankful to have this job. Like Doug said, I started in '99. I wanted to be an equipment operator. Never knew I'd be where I'm at now, and, that just goes to show that, when I hired on, it was for a job that I could retire from, and now, we make careers out here in Nassau County, and I appreciate it.
I'd just like to say I'm very appreciative for the opportunity that I've had to work for Nassau County. I've been fortunate enough to learn a lot and make a lot of friends, and I'm very appreciative for all of it. Thank you.
Thank you. Hold on a second. Commissioner Gray.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Congratulations, Mr. Hearn and Ms. Elliott. I've always said that our employees are our most valuable asset we have here in Nassau County, and you're a shining example of that. I don't think we can invest too much or enough in our employees. And like you said, you started a job, and look what you got, Mr. Hearn, a career. And that's what we want. So it's a testament of the quality and skill set that we have of our employees at Nassau County. And we never need to lose sight of that. And it's an investment that pays back tenfold. I want to thank y'all both very much and congratulate both of you on your 20-year and your 25-year anniversaries with us. And we hope you stay a lot longer. Thank you.
Commissioner Farmer.
Chairman, just to piggyback on that, I just want you both to know how well respected you are and how I appreciate the mark that you've left on Nassau County and continue to leave moving into the future, because whenever you're out in the field and you're talking to subordinates or you're talking to colleagues, I haven't found anybody that has ever said anything bad about either one of you, and the public really speaks highly of you and your work. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, that will move us into consent items. If any board member wishes to move a consent item to new business, please do so now. I would like to move tab E to new business and tab G to new business. Does any member of the public want to speak on a consent item? Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve tab F.
Second.
Motion from Commissioner Huttman, second by Commissioner Farmer to approve tab F. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We'll move us into what we now have as new business. Tab E, approve and authorize finance package 2024-7 and associated resolutions. Assistant County Manager Ironman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. With this finance package, we have 4 budgeted amendments that are occurring, or 3 amendments and 1 transfer. The first 3 recognize additional funding that we've received through grants. One of them through EMS, and then 2, one approximately $352,000, and the second one for about $392,000, that are additional funds we're receiving from FDOT for the Amelia Island Parkway Trail as we continue to improve that area. So that's a nice bit of funding to receive. The fourth item is the budget transfer for the town of Hilliard. So through the Prosperity Plan, the board had provided direction to allocate $195,000 towards their water improvements. This is the budget amendment for that. Before the actual expenditure occurs, we'll be back to the board to essentially put in place an interlocal as we transfer those funds to them.
Any questions for Mr. Hireman? Entertain a motion for tab F.
So moved. Second.
Motion from Commissioner.
If I might, Mr. Chair, I apologize, but is it tab E that you're approving at this time?
I'm sorry. For the record, it's tab E. Thank you. So we've got a motion and a second to approve tab E. Any further discussion? Seeing none, hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Ms. May. Tab G, award invitation to bid NC 23-059 to Industrial Shade Ports Incorporated and authorize the chairman to sign contract number CM 3624 with Industrial Shade Ports Incorporated for the delivery and installation of bleachers and shade structures at multiple sports complexes in Nassau County in the amount of $402,421.62. County Manager.
Yes, sir. Thank you, the Chair. This project is part of your park revitalization program that you all put in place several years ago when we really started moving forward on some larger scale capital improvements, including new park construction. There was a directive by the Board of County Commissioners to not overly invest in new parks, but to upgrade and modernize your existing community parks. And so the implementation and the installation of shade structures over bleachers at all the sports complexes is what's in this packet itself. This goes along with recent accomplishments such as the new lighting at the Callahan Ballpark, play equipment installed at both Hilliard and Briceville, painting of the score towers and buildings at Callahan and Yulee, and then replacement of all the netting, backstops at all the sports complexes. And so this is, again, just the directive to reinvest in the existing facility, raise the level of quality at our existing parks, while at the same time we're bringing on new parks. And this is just one of those components. We will be coming forward again in the next year with some additional maintenance and improvement projects for individual parks. But today, we really like to get work on this one and get those installed for the upcoming baseball season.
Thank you, County Manager.
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Gray.
Thank you, Mr. Pope. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So multiple sports complexes. That's going to include Yulee Sports Complex, Hilliard Sports Complex, and the Callahan Complex, all three of our major regional parks. So just wanted to put that on the record that all the regional parks are all going to get bleachers and shade structures, not just one. Yep. Okay, thank you, sir.
Entertain a motion for tab G.
So moved, sir. Second.
Motion from Commissioner Gray, second by Commissioner Farmer. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, that will take us into County Manager's business. Mr. Pope.
Yes, sir. I've asked Mr. Gil Langley to come today and give you all an update on the efforts to consider expanding the tourist development tax district countywide. This has been something that's been in process for several years at this point. We're really reaching a critical point to where the efforts will culminate in a decision. And so I asked Gil to come and give you an update so that you all are aware of where we are, and that as we move forward, if your constituents receive phone calls, receive information, that everyone's aware of where it's coming from. With that, I'll turn it over to Gil.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Haley.
Pleasure to be here with you today. We want to bring you up to speed on where we are with the effort to expand our tourism efforts countywide. In 2019, the TDC had signed a new contract with the Convention and Visitors Bureau for 10 years. And its major initiative as part of that discussion was to expand tourism benefits to not only enhance the benefit of tourism on the island, but to expand those benefits to the rest of Nassau County. We started with taking small steps. In 2020, we implemented a marketing program where we expanded the tourism in the rest of the county by utilizing a hub and spoke campaign where people would spend the night on Amelia Island generating bed tax, but take advantage of the nature-based tourism opportunities in the rest of the county, and to work with attractions and special events in the county that had the benefit of generating room nights on Amelia Island. The biggest one that we've worked with for the past couple of years is the Northeast Florida Fair, and we've worked with Keith and his team to expand the awareness of tourism to a regional target audience. And we've worked on other projects enhance the wedding venues that have been developed on the, by the private sector. And based upon the recommendations of the TDC in 2020, we engaged JLL as a consulting firm to look at our entire county and come up with a list of strategic initiatives that would help us doing that. The plan that came out of it read that we should augment, grow, strategically evolve the tourism economy to expand the value-added benefits of tourism to the community by creating new products and revenue streams that will create jobs, expand the economy, and improve the quality of life place for visitors and citizens alike. The Hub and Spoke campaign has been successful at this point, and the benefits the county commissioner moving forward on makes it easier for us to market the products available. You just talked about sunshades and bleachers at the athletic fields. 2 years ago, we started a sports marketing campaign. So enhancing those facilities gives us a better product to go and take to the community as well. The consensus of the research that was done by JLL, which we presented to the county commission, was to continue to focus on Amelia Island as the economic engine for the tourism industry. As you know, the tourism industry generates almost $1 billion in economic impact, employs 25% of our workforce, and generates 38% of the sales taxes generated in Nassau County by tourism activities. Expanding the program gives us an opportunity also to expand the revenues available to do those necessary projects. We've discussed expanding the tourist development tax to the rest of the county. That requires a vote at a referendum, and we have the opportunity to put that on the ballot issue in 2024 of November. We've started to reach out to our stakeholders. We've presented to the elected officials in Callahan and Hilliard. They unanimously supported the expansion of the tourist development tax countywide. Keith Wingate and his board at the Northeast Florida State Fair have endorsed this initiative as well. And we've got a plan in place now to start reaching out on social media and other traditional marketing campaigns to increase the awareness of what the tourist development tax is. Remember, it's not a tax on anybody that's a resident in Nassau County. It's a user fee paid by people that stay in overnight accommodations for less than 6 months. As we prepare to go forward and raise the awareness of this campaign, we want to make sure that we're following the directions that's the intent of the county commission to raise the awareness of the tourist development campaign and support us going into your communities and making presentations so that people clearly understand what we're asking them to support. The focus on this program is the main purpose is to expand the tourism development opportunities off island. We feel that we are well positioned to tell that story and want to make sure that we're in concert with the county commission as we move forward on this. Now, as I understand it, we have to have a decision on whether to move forward on this by the end of June. We plan to do an aggressive marketing campaign for the next 6 weeks, and then to survey the community to see what their thoughts are on this issue. So that's a summary of where we are and where we've gotten to. We will continue to offer the off-island opportunities to the travel industry, so that no matter what happens, we're expanding our efforts to promote tourism throughout Nassau County. I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
I'm getting the signal from Assistant County Manager Ironman. Mr. Ironman, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to add a couple points to this. As Gil mentioned, they've received direction from the AITDC and the board through the strategic plan of the board, the JLL study that was completed that really kind of outlined that there's a value in investing and expanding the tourism, right? We see some of the hotels off island, we see that growth coming, but we're not able to capture those taxes to offset the impacts that they have in certain areas. But more importantly, I wanted to kind of echo some of the efforts that Mr. Langley and his team have been doing is they have established the website Nassau Tourism Works to put some information out there to make sure that the public is aware. And through some of the initial outreach, we've already received letters of support that have been brought to the board, or resolutions from the town of Callahan, the town of Hilliard, and the Northeast Florida Fair Association, all in support of expanding tourism countywide. So those resolutions are all on that website as well. And that's part of why Mr. Langley's here today is we're receiving that feedback and following board direction. We just really kind of seeking concurrence as we continue to move forward.
Thank you, Mr. Ironman. Ironman, that was part of what you just put out there was what I was going to add to what Mr. Langley said. Because I know he said the town of Hilliard and the Northeast Florida Fair, but you're correct. The town of Callahan and the Nassau County Economic Development Board also are in support of this. I see copious notes there, Commissioner Farmer. Would you like to go first?
Sure, no problem. I just wanted to go on the record saying that I support these user fees that are collected by the passerbys in Nassau County, or the non-residents, if you will, that will offset future expenses to Nassau County residents. It's a huge economic engine here that I don't think a lot of people on my side of town really understand the magnitude of. As we've spoken before, this thing offsets rooftop taxes, if you will, by thousands and thousands of dollars every year. And I just like to say thank you, Gil and staff, for opening the conversation countywide, because as we know, Northeast Florida Fair Association is just one example of the tourist the development that we've saw in our community. There's a lot of state allocated funding that's went into our fair, thankfully, and we're watching that thing grow and flourish. And people come from all over the region, from multiple states to come see what we have over there. So when we see people come from wherever they may come from, Chicago or New Hampshire, or Delaware or Virginia or wherever, anytime that we can collect those user fees, capture it, and then use it for our residents, I think that is a smart way to, I hate to use the word tax, but it's a smart way to move into the future for our residents. And thank you, I appreciate it.
Commissioner Gray.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I also want to make sure I go on the record that this is not a tax on the residents of Nassau County. And I think it's a great initiative to expand tourism off the island through our off-island facilities. We're going to have West Side Regional Park, another regional park, which I spoke earlier about our 3 existing regional parks, coming online real soon. And we're going to be able to host a number of sports and athletic events out there. And it's going to be a huge benefit for the resident citizens of Nassau County on the west side and on the east side to collect this user fee. So I just want to put that on the record. And thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner Gray. Commissioner McCullough, Commissioner Hutman.
Go ahead, Mr. Hutton.
Thanks. I'd go on the record agreeing with you as well, Mr. Gray. I think that given the future growth out towards the west side, the sports tourism market alone is going to be a boom for us. And to get in front of it now and expand out west and capture that for our growing county is going to be vital. So I'd concur with my fellow commissioners on that.
Commissioner McCullough.
you know, Mr. Langley, I feel like you and I have talked a lot about this. It's really understanding because I think, you know, for my constituents, when they hear the word tax or we hear the word tax, it's an immediate red flag. But I think it's important as we all sit in the seat to explain to our residents that number one is they get the opportunity to vote on the referendum, and number two is that, you know, they can understand that we can. I spoke to a gentleman, and I told Mr. Pope this about 2 weeks ago, and he said they only vacation in Nassau County. So he said he, you know, every time he goes to the island, he pays that tax. But, you know, whether we just went on vacation, my son and I, to New York, so you pay those visitor taxes. We're all, when you go and you go into that community, you use their services, you should have that user fee when you go. And then our economy can stay balanced. So, Mr. Langley, I thank you and your team for all the hard work and effort you have put in. I know that it's not been an easy trek for you. I know that on the west side, we're constantly having information. And I think the more we can educate our residents, the better we all are. So thank you and your team for your immense work on the west side.
Thank you.
Okay, so kind of piggybacking on what everybody said here, Commissioner Hutman mentioned sports tourism. There are several other tourisms we're going to be talking about: ecotourism, ag tourism. Help me out with some of the other acronyms there.
You're right on track.
Am I right on track? Okay. And so the other thing that I've been chairman of the Tourist Development Council for almost 2 years now. So, you know, I get more information. You may have a lot of conversations with Mr. Langley. I said, but, you know, I'm your liaison to the Tourist Development Council and the basically the CVB. So, and during this JLL process with our consultant, the one word that came up all the time in every presentation they made to us was authenticity, okay? The people on the west side, and they even changed how we refer to them. We have the island and the mainland. That includes you.
Yep, mainland.
The island
That's
and the
right.
mainland. Right? And so what the folks on the mainland, especially the western side of the mainland, want to make sure of is that as we go forward and do this, we promote tourism that is authentic to the area and to the community and to the lifestyle that folks enjoy out there. So what I'm trying to do is dispel any concerns that we're going to try and turn the mainland into, you know, Amelia Island without a beach. That's not the goal. That's not the goal there. It's to be something that the folks that live in these areas of our county are going to not only benefit from, but we hope they're going to welcome them because it's going to be authentic to their area. I don't know if you have any comment you'd like to make on that. Did I miss anything?
No, I think one of the things to consider is that due to change in the way things are done in elections, this has to be a referendum in conjunction with a general election campaign. So that means we have the opportunity to vote on this issue in 2024. Should that not move forward, our next opportunity would be 2026. And you've heard me talk about the fact we're in the futures business. Right now, you have about 400 hotel rooms totally off island that are not collecting bed tax at I-95 and 200. And wildlife, you have 2 new hotels that are shovels are in the ground, and more to come. There's other major lodging facilities in discussion. So there's going to be a huge growth in the lodging industry and in the tourism industry, regardless of whether we move forward or not. The goal is to put the structure in place to capture that revenue for the benefit of the county. And the linchpin on this is to make sure everybody understands it's not a tax on local people. It generates jobs that are good-paying jobs for the people that live off-island and would be able to be employed at lodging facilities and at tourist attractions and restaurants without having to drive to the island every day. So there are a myriad of opportunities that we can take advantage of should we be able to expand the tourism district countywide. One other thing worth mentioning is those people considering the referendum are only those that don't live on Amelia Island currently. So local people off island will be voting in their own jurisdiction, not to change the bed tax collected on Amelia Island. That will stay at 5%, regardless of what happens. But JLL consulting firm was very specific about the fact that they think the time is right to expand our efforts, and we concur with that. And we're ready to roll out with a messaging that hopefully educates the community and gives us 60 to 90 days to make people understand what we're trying to do so that it would be successful if considered in November.
Thank you for bringing that point up about who gets to vote on this. People that live on the island aren't going to have an input on what happens to people off island on this. So it's going to be the people that live on the mainland, to quote the new term for it, that are going to be the decision makers on this referendum. Another thing, in the beginning, let's say it passes, and we get this program in place. In the beginning, there'll probably be some seed money that comes from the tourist development tax as it is now, that gets used on the mainland. But then the goal is, over time, that they both become kind of self-sufficient for projects that they want to do. So it's not like any tourist development tax dollar revenues that are brought in from the mainland or the west side are going to be used on island. We will come up with a system to, for lack of a better word, earmark where these pots of money go to. Anyone else? Commissioner Farmer.
I just wanted to say real quick that years ago, as a young man, I was sitting in one of these meetings and I heard a resident from the west side over there, and he's no public speaker by any stretch, but he said something that I'll never forget. And he says, it's a real shame in Nassau County when the Wells Fargo truck always runs east and the garbage truck always runs west. And when he said that, it stuck out in my mind. And I said, you know what? I said, this is one more example of why we want the Wells Fargo truck to be able to run back to the west. And so, I just wanted to go on the record as saying that, he isn't all wrong. Because, through the years, it's like things on the west side, they didn't really get the attention that a lot of residents feel like that they deserved. And the west side of the county, this is a prime example of, and a testament really to who we are as a working group of leaders to make sure that, it's not just a one-sided deal. As we move forward and we see these sporting events, all of us went to the opening days of our ballparks. We've been following these ballparks for decades. They're just tremendous amount of participation, not just from within our community, but from outside of our community as well. Northeast Florida Fair is tremendous. Tens of thousands of people come from all over the region. So, I just wanted to say that, go on the record as saying that, that's the true feeling of the people I represent as the native, here on the board that, my family moved here in '74. We're starting to see that mindset change. And there's a lot of big events that, I know that are targeting the mainland, if you will, and we can all, as one Nassau, benefit from these changes. And again, I just appreciate you and your hard work, Mr. Langley.
Commissioner Gray.
Mr. Chairman, one more comment, I promise that'll be it. Thank you, Mr. Langley. Thank you for the presentation and speech up here to kind of explain these user fees. Earlier in our board meeting, I specifically spoke about Yulee Sports Complex, Hilliard Sports Complex, and Callahan. And we all know we have one on the island, and we're working to spend some a large amount of money at, I don't know, probably butchered his name. Ybor Alvarez.
I'll help you out.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. But I as well, Commissioner Farmer, want to see all the money, all the benefits, all the facilities for all the children, all countywide, not just one place versus the other. And we've got an opportunity here with these user fees to really make a difference and leave a legacy here for Nassau County. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner Gray. Any other commissioner like to get?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
should mention that the Convention and Visitors Bureau Board, which
Well, I know that you are looking for consensus, and County Manager Pope is looking for consensus. Would you like to add anything, Mr. Pope?
Oh, man, you guys said a lot. I mean, the one thing that came back to me, and I'm glad you came to me, was the authenticity. And I just wanted to state it, is that it does us no good if we lose our sense of place, right? If the mainland of western Nassau County looks like, no offense to my friends in Central Florida, but West Orange, we've lost our identity and we're no longer an attraction. And so it's imperative that as we move forward, that we make a conscious and deliberate effort to maintain the heritage that is there, the rural nature of it, the great natural features that we all love, and this is a mechanism to accomplish that. And I, again, appreciate Gillip and CVB for taking the lead. I feel confident in the general consensus to move forward, and so unless Marshall, if you'll have anything to add, we've accomplished what's needed.
Well, I'm going to take it a step further, so I'd like to go down that line here and give your input. If you're, should the county manager and Mr. Langley and his team continue to move forward or not? Commissioner Upton?
Yes, sir, I believe they should continue to move forward.
Commissioner Farmer?
Yes.
Commissioner Gray?
Mr. Chairman, yes, I think they should move forward and with the campaign to see what our sentiment is out there, yes.
Commissioner McCullough?
Yes, sir.
And I, too, am a big fan of this program, and I agree, we should move forward with it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Langley. Do you have any other business, Mr. Langley?
No, sir, thank you.
And I think I owe the county attorney an apology. Did I not ask you if you had any expansion items?
No, sir, but if I had, I would have let you know.
Well, I noticed that as we got into proclamations, I'm like, okay, when's a good time for me to like do a mea culpa? So I am sorry.
No problem at all. Thank you,
All right.
Mr. Chair.
So, Madam County Attorney, do you have any business?
And I have no business.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
All right. County Commissioner comments. I think we're back with Commissioner McCullough going first.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. Congratulations to Ms. Claire on her 25 years. I was listening when they went through, it started at the clerk's office, animal, library. She worked in animal control. She ended up at the library. But there were so many steps along the way, and Mr. Hearn stated it too, that you come in and you think it's just a job, but in Nassau County, there's so many unique career paths where you can go and you can do different things along those 25 and 30 years of service. And I think it's just a neat opportunity, and sometimes we don't always look to right here in our county and be employed by the county. And so as more and more people have 20 and 25 years of service, it's just a great opportunity to mentor the next generation and advise them into different career opportunities that we have right here, where you don't even have to go far. We train you. You have this stay home, live home, just unique opportunity in Nassau County. And so congratulations to Ms. Claire on her retirement, Mr. David for 25 years, Ms. Julie for 20 years. And I thank you, Mr. Martin. And I think it's, I just want to be real clear to the residents, as we all talk about the tourist development, is that it's each of our jobs. And I think we've seen this come up on different referendums. You've heard this different thing. Every single voter owes it to themselves to do their own education. Research the issue for yourself. Quit looking at what other people are saying. My best advice on every single thing that comes on that ballot is do your own homework, because we can find negatives and positives to every single thing that's going to come on a ballot. But you've got to make your T-chart. You've got to weigh out what is the best benefit for you, for your children, and for the future of Nassau County. So thank you, Mr. Martin.
Thank you, Commissioner McCullough. Commissioner Gray.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Also, I'd like to also say congratulations to all that was here today, Mr. Hearn, Ms. Elliott, and Ms. Shepherd. And on Saturday, I was honored to be a judge. I was invited by Kelsey Irvin with our 4-H Youth Development Competition Program for Nassau County's annual competition. I thoroughly enjoyed that Saturday morning. It was a big turnout and a lot of fun. And I want to thank the community stewards of Yulee. I enjoyed their first annual St. Patrick's Day Parade. There was a few of us here that participated in the parade. It was their first event to honor law enforcement officers and fire rescue first responders. I think it was a huge success, the first annual event. And I enjoyed meeting all the residents who came out and supported the community. That's how you build community and create sense of place. I know, Mr. Pope, this is a big thing and for all of us, and that's what we all try to promote. And I enjoyed thoroughly handing out candy to all the children. So it was a great event, and I want to thank the community stewards of Yulee again. And my last thing, Mr. Chairman, was I'm going to wish our county manager a happy birthday.
Stole my thunder.
Happy birthday, Mr. Pope. We appreciate you as our county manager, and hope you have a wonderful and blessed day today. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner Gray. Commissioner Farmer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You guys covered quite a few of the bases there. I just wanted to piggyback on what Commissioner Gray just said. It was really, really great to see the courthouse being used as a staging area. It's a great staging area. William Burgess Boulevard there through Nassau Crossing Park, I thought was a great path because, it didn't restrict A1A traffic, and the people were able to come out and sit in their chairs on each side of the roadway there at the parks. And so, it was an outstanding event, and I think that next year it'll just get bigger and better. And eventually, I hope that it gets so big that, we have to move it somewhere else, you know what I mean? Because it'll be so big that our road won't even contain it. But it's great to see the kids coming out wearing green and, just being a part of whatever the festivity is. But for this, it was St. Patrick's Day. Saturday, March 23rd, we've got the Hilliard Town Cleanup. If anybody can come out and be a part of that, we'd appreciate your help. Saturday, April 6th is the Hilliard Town Car Show. That'll be another nice event over on my side of town. And Saturday, April the 20th is Caitlin's Ride for Autism over in Pirates Woods. And that's where Commissioner Gray lives. So I thought that I would just poke him a little
Did you hear the
bit.
heavy sigh?
Oh,
when you
yeah,
mentioned that? I didn't have that on my list.
Yeah, it's $95 to sign up and ride through April the 11th. Starts at the Pirates Woods Clubhouse and Caitlin'sRide.com for more info. And that's it's okay, Commissioner Gray, to have senior moments. I have them myself. So that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
You gotta be prepared on these comments with Commissioner Farmer, because he's got it all down. Commissioner Huffman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Pope, what year were you born? If I may?
Oh, gosh, here we go. Stop it.
1982.
82, great, okay, thanks. I just reflect on that because when you start talking about 25 and 30-year careers, you start talking about a lifetime spent in service to the county. So for Claire and for David and Julie, you guys have spent a lifetime. In fact, Commissioner McCullough was probably about 12 when they started working for Nassau County. So that's a reflection of how long they've dedicated service to the county, and I appreciate that. The parade Saturday was fabulous. I enjoyed that out there. It was nice. It's a new, and I'd like to give a shout out to the Turner family because they really are a big part of that whole drive, and they do a lot for this community. So thank you, Mr. Chairman. I won't take up any more time.
As my colleagues are going down, everything they're gonna talk about, I'm thinking, okay, they hit that, they hit this one. And then the last one, Commissioner Huffman just did with recognition of the Turner family. He's deceased now, Dave Turner, with Dave Turner Plumbing. But his family, his surviving spouse, Judy Turner, was, they're the ones that put this on. They got Buford, the fire truck. Buford, the fire truck. And it was really good. I anticipate, from the reaction that I got from law enforcement that had to do the security for the parade route on William Burgess, I think they're in favor of, that's where the Yulee Christmas parade should be going forward. So they were really looking forward to seeing how this parade was going to work. And it worked really well. It really did. And so I think that's what we should do. Whoever's in charge of the Yulee Christmas parade, I'm recommending that should be your parade route. At our March 11th meeting, we voted on and approved and I read into the record the proclamation honoring David and Betty Berkman. And then this past Monday, March 18th, at Story and Song in Ferndale Beach, I went ahead and delivered that proclamation to Mrs. Berkman. She was very appreciative. Her family was there. All the organizations that had received generous donations from her and her family were there to represent and to thank her. And there was quite a bit of community support there for her and her family, and how generous they've been to Nassau County. So I just wanted to let you know that I did that, and she was very appreciative. And if there's nothing else,
Mr. Chairman,
you want your 2 cents?
I do, and I rarely do that, but.
Commissioner Hupman.
Thank you, sir. I missed a big one. This year, I'm a member of the canvassing board in Nassau County, and working in conjunction with the supervisor of elections and Judge Higginbotham. We make up that canvassing board. And I heard Mr. Farmer say last year, you know, you get to see how the sausage is made, so to speak. But I want to give them a tremendous shout out for yesterday, Election Day, primary election day. We call it Presidential Preference Day. And to watch the process is really impressive. To watch the safeguards, to watch the oversight, to watch the detail and the amount of work that goes into an accurate count that really gets released almost within minutes. And to watch that happen, I think by 7:25 last night, the initial results were posted. So Nassau, and someone was in there telling a story that one year in a presidential election, Nassau County was the first county to announce in a nationwide election, the first county in Florida to announce. So I'd like to give the supervisor of elections a well done, and her entire staff and all the election volunteer workers all the way across the county. They're in all 19 precincts, and then they converge here in the building into the secure area and process it. Really well done. A couple more days to button up the final mail-ins and stuff, but it's great to be part of the process, so thank you,
Yeah,
Mr.
I think
Chairman.
you're correct. They,
Yeah.
by, I think it might have been 7:30-ish, that they had early voting and election day voting done, and the vote by mail was partially complete. And I checked that again sometime between 7:45 and 8 o'clock, and it was all done. It was all done. Had 20, it was a presidential preference primary where, one party had already picked their nominee, so there was only the other party that had ballots there. And that party had pretty much picked their nominee too, because all the other candidates had suspended their campaigns except for one. But still, even in an election where some people may have said, well, why am I even doing this? There was 22% of the eligible voters for that preference primary showed up, so they made their voices heard. All right.
Thanks, sir.
If there's nothing else, we're adjourned.